So you've decided to try out Destiny 2. Maybe you heard of the game from another content creator, or maybe even a friend recommended it to you. Well, if you seem lost and need a guide, this video is for you. This episode is the conclusion to the Beginner's Guide trilogy. If you haven't seen the previous two episodes, they will be linked in the description below. Feel free to go and watch those before watching this one. The topics we will be covering in today's episode will be an introduction to weapon crafting and exotic catalysts, a special vendor who goes by the name Xur, as well as the transmog system, an introduction to what endgame content is. There will also be a bonus topic, so stick around to the end of the video if you want to figure out what that is. So with all that said and done, let's transcend our way right into this. So, weapon crafting. What is it? Well, that's exactly what we're going to be answering right now. Basically, as you can see here, this is a rocket launcher that I have crafted. I've chosen my own perks, and I've leveled up this weapon to be able to gain access to these perks. And even a memento, which gives you access to a particular shader that you can put on your crafted weapon. Now, how do you gain the ability to craft these weapons? Well, that is an interesting question. So we're going to head over to collections menu and go to patterns and catalysts. Now here you will see every possible craftable weapon that you can get in the game. Some of them are harder to get than others, like this weapon, for example. It's a seasonal weapon from the Witch Queen year. You can't really get it anymore unless you get lucky at the Gunsmith or Xur, or if they drop in Days of Eternity rotation. This is where you will go if you want to track the progress on some of your weapon patterns. Now, how do you gain weapon pattern progress? Well, basically, you'll get what is known as a red border weapon. Now, as an example, this weapon here is craftable. It is not a red border. You'll tell it's a red border because, well, when the weapon drops, as you can see on the icon here, the border will be red. And you will gain the ability to apply Deep Sight Resonance. Now, if your weapons are not red borders, you can use Deep Sight Harmonizers to turn them into red borders, so that way you can apply the Deep Sight Resonance for your pattern progress. Now, to get Deep Sight Harmonizers, you're going to want to head over to the Season Pass, and you basically just grind it out until you get yourself a Deep Sight Harmonizer, and you can use that to gain some pattern progress. Now, to craft a weapon, you're going to have to go to Savathun's Throne World, and you got to travel to the Enclave. Now, once you have spawned at the Enclave, you just go back here, head down these stairs until you come across the relic. You'll see this menu here. Now, to craft a weapon, you just go shape and you pick whatever weapon you want to craft. Let's say we want to craft this. Chuck on a frame, pick whatever barrel and magazine you want. Same with your perks. You just pick a set of perks that you want to start out with, and you can go ahead and craft it. Now, if you want these additional perks here and you want to work your way up to these enhanced perks, you're going to want to level up your weapon. Once you craft a weapon, you will be able to level it up, as you can see, and the more you level your weapon up, the more perks you will gain access to until you are able to access the enhanced perks. Now, it does tell you what level is required. Like, here we go. What requires weapon level 14 to unlock this perk. So, pretty easy system to follow once you get the hang of it. But there you go. Crafting weapons is OP because you can just basically craft the perfect roll and the enhanced perks. Another thing that you guys would want to know is weapon enhancement. Now, some weapons in the game, as you can see, will be enhanceable. You'll notice this because you'll be able to apply enhancement. Now, there are 3 tiers to enhancement. Once you get to tier enhancement 3, As you can see on the Midnight Coupe here, all the perks on the roll that you have will become enhanced. Crafted weapons are the most powerful weapons in the game besides exotics, but even then, depending on the type of craftable weapon you have, sometimes that can be a better alternative depending on the situation. So, exotic catalysts, what are they? Now basically, exotic catalysts are special perks that you can get for exotic weapons. Now they can buff either the stats or give the weapon additional perks. Now, okay, it's bugged, so weapons are not going to show. For some reason this bug is only happening when I'm in the tower, so very, very weird. But as you can see here, once you get the catalyst, you complete the objective, and once you complete the objective you will unlock it and be able to equip it. Now the catalyst for Sleeper Simulant grants it increased ammo reserves and speeds up the charge time, which is the fire rate for linear fusion rifles. So yep, exotic catalyst will buff your exotic weapons. Now, to know how to get a catalyst for a particular weapon, you go to your collections menu, into the patterns and catalyst section, and head all the way over to the exotic catalyst tab and find yourself a weapon that you desire. Let's say you want the Dead Man's Tail catalyst. Basically, it'll tell you exactly what to do, found by completing playlist activities. So you'll grind out playlist activities until it drops, and as I showed you with Xur, one weekend he might sell that catalyst for you to just get outright if you're lucky. But this will be the menu you go to if you want to figure out where to obtain certain catalysts for a particular weapon. Now we come to Xur. Xur is going to be your number one best friend as a brand new player. He sells many important things such as these upgrade resources you can get by leveling him up. You can obviously level him up by purchasing items, and for the first time ever, he is selling exotic catalysts. If you got the Solar New Light kit during the New Light questline, you will have received Sunshot. So if Xur's still around when you're watching this, definitely pick this up. Now Xur only shows up on the weekends, so very limited amount of time each week. You can get an exotic for each class. You can go here for some resources, and these give you raid banners if you want some of those. Very easy way to get raid banners, which are very, very important for end game content such as raids and dungeons. Now, Strange Gear offers, this is where the magic happens. You'll be claiming a lot of exotic weapons from Xur. If he is still around, I would recommend picking up Trinity Ghoul if you're able to get enough strange coins in time. Same with some of these legendary weapons. This one here having a pretty decent roll on it, so if you want a decent sidearm, that's a good recommendation. Now, sometimes he'll sell armor with decent stats like this piece here, that if you're a brand new player and you're a hunter, well, here you go. Each class will have a different, well, they'll have the same armor set, but it'll have different stats on it. But if you want more for transmog, you can pick up these armor sets and dismantle them and use them as ornaments. Transmog will be explained later on in the video, so bear with me. As a new player, Xur will be your number one go-to guy for some nice, easy exotics and some pretty good upgrade resources. So, the transmog system. Now, this menu here will be responsible for how you look in the game. Whether you want to look ugly or sexy, it's up to you. Now, one thing that you really need to know, it is very important that you know this. Transmog is the true end game. Not raids, not dungeons, not Trials of Osiris. Nope. This is the true end game. Every hardcore player will tell you this. For customizing, You just go here, you can apply shaders. Obviously shaders change the color. Exotics will have their own ornaments that you get from the Eververse store. Microtransactions, that is not a new concept. Now, legendaries is where the magic happens. So, basically, any legendary armor that you dismantle will be able to be used as an ornament. Now, as you can see, some of them are locked. To unlock these, you will want to visit Ada 1. Now, she does sell shaders, which are pretty good. She does sell armor, but definitely nothing special. She occasionally might sell something you like the look of, and if you do, you can use that for transmog. Now, you're gonna want to pick up these bounties because they will give you synthesis materials, which you'll deposit here, and you'll get either one of these depending on which class you're playing as, and you'll be able to use those to unlock some of these locked ornaments here, which you'll be able to then apply whichever ones you want, create your combinations, make sure they are not too ugly, but you can look ugly if you want to. It's definitely a personal choice. Alright, so time to introduce all of you to endgame content. Now, endgame content consists of activities such as Grandmaster Nightfalls, even Legend and Master Nightfalls, raids, dungeons, and exotic missions, as well as Trials of Osiris in the Crucible, but Trials of Osiris isn't here yet, so it'll be here later on in the episode, not season. There are episodes now. I still have to get used to that. But as a free-to-play player, you'll have access to all of the Legends content, which is just basically the free-to-play endgame content. So 3 raids, 2 dungeons, and all these exotic missions here. This one here is on a rotation, so basically next weekly reset, this mission will be a different one. Once you level up to a point where you're able to do them, you can shoot your shot. So here we are with the bonus tip, and that is clans. Now, as a new player, it's always good to join a clan. It's a good way to make friends, and when you get to the point where you want to do endgame content, you can easily get some teammates, and participating in activities with your clan will level your clan up, which will give you boosters to rewards and just additional benefits. You can also get rewards for completing sets of activities each week. You can also visit Hawthorne in the tower. She manages clans. When you play with your clan, you'll rank her up, get rewards off of her, which you can claim these. You can get clan bounties to do with your clan buddies. And you can also purchase raid banners from her, which are very important and will help out your team in a raid or a dungeon. You'll basically place these down before each encounter, and they will fully charge all your abilities and refill all your ammo for everyone in your team. I don't remember covering the fire team finder, so I'm going to cover it here, but you can use the fire team finder to either create a listing, so whenever you want to do a non-match made activity or something that's very high in difficulty, which is most non-match made activities anyway, so if you want to do like a dungeon or a raid, you can pick what raid you want to do and just create the listing to however you want. And once you create a listing, people will then be able to join you, and you can participate in a raid or a dungeon or other match made activity. You can even, if you're not feeling brave enough to create your own listing, you can search for one as well. Joining LFG groups can be a bit of an interesting experience, but don't let that scare you. You might encounter some nice people. There are nice people in the game who are willing to help and are very welcoming to new players. It can be a bit of a mixed bag. You will meet those types of players that'll kick you if you don't have a certain piece of gear or you're not a certain level. But just ignore those types of people. Eventually you'll find some good people and may even make some really good friends, which is a very important element of Destiny that you will come to understand as you continue to play. Well, there we go, guys. That is going to conclude the final episode in this Beginner's Guide trilogy. I tried my best to cover the most important things that a brand new player should know when they are first starting out. If there is anything that I missed that you guys desperately want to know, feel free to let me know in the comments, and I may make more guide videos in the future covering any extra bits and pieces that you guys may want to know. If you ended up enjoying this guide or the series as a whole, feel free to hit the like button and subscribe to show your support. It would mean the absolute world to me as a smaller content creator. With that said, I hope this series has helped you kickstart your journey in the Destiny universe. But the most important thing that I want you to do right now is have a good one.